Hey everybody, it's Miss Holloway, and I really miss us not being in school, and I wanted to take the time today to read you a Christmas story about Santa coming to Alabama. I really love this book. I'm sporting my Baby Yoda Christmas shirt today, Baby Yoda Santa, because you know I love all things geeky. But today we're going to read Santa is Coming to Alabama. This book is by Steve Smallman and illustrated by Robert Dunn and Alan Brown. Here's our first page. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children in Alabama been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of Alabama had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Look at that big bag of gifts and those little elves. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Oh no, the reindeer's missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him and called him, but just then, a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the old elf calling. Oh well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in coordinates for Alabama. This will guide us to Alabama in no time. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went racing through the sky. Ho, 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 boomed Santa. Well, we will soon have those presents delivered to the heart of Dixie. Santa's sleigh through the starry night headed south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the crisp, wintry air, crossing over Canada. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above Ohio and on over the Great Smoky Mountains. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole. Here's the picture for the next page. But they were nearing Coosa Valley when suddenly they ran into a thick fog. Mist swirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this fog. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then, through the foggy blanket, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Who's that reindeer with the red nose? There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with that little box with the buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off towards the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind. Look at Rudolph. Rudolph looks awfully tired. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be the St. John's Episcopal Church. Don't worry, children, Santa's coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the fog. "You have arrived," said the Santa Nav very unhelpfully. Finally, when the fog had lifted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. They were stuck at the very top of the Montgomery State Capitol. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the dome, and Santa steered them safely past Centennial Hill, over Highland Avenue, and down into Oak Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted the presents into order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Alabama, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Tuscaloosa and small chimneys in Anniston. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Auburn and plummeted down fat chimneys in Birmingham. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Alabama were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry, too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees, carefully filled up stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Alabama had left out a plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Huntsville to Prattville, from Dothan to Decatur, from Madison to Mobile, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Alabama. He delivered presents to Andrew and Allison and Anna and Arabella, Archie, Ashley, the list went on and on, Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zabel. That must be a spelling mistake, surely. Here's the picture of all the places in Alabama that Santa went. I know you recognize some of those names. Finally, Santa delivered the last present on his long Alabama list. "Great moons and stars," sighed Santa. "It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. Hope I haven't forgotten anyone." Santa opened his sack to check. But guess what it was full of? Carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. "Well done," he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him because he was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding above the Talladega Super Speedway, over Nakalula Falls, and past Cathedral Cavern State Park. "Ho, ho, ho," laughed Santa. "Merry Christmas, Alabama." Now, if we were to add anything to that story, I would add the rocket in Huntsville, which is right here. I don't know if you guys saw that. So when you go to Huntsville, you know you see the rocket. So I know Santa saw the rockets when he came by. But I know that Santa also visits Union Grove, Grassy, Arab, Gunnersville, Georgia Mountain, Union Grove, everywhere. Santa's everywhere. So I hope all of you have been good. We miss you. I love this book about Santa in Alabama. So I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas. Miss Holloway really misses you. And stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you soon. Bye.